Hello everyone and welcome to the SwiftCase Productivity Podcast. My name is Adam Sykes, founder of SwiftCase, the professional productivity platform, and today we've got a large group with us again from the SwiftCase team, so everyone's going to go around and just introduce themselves.
I'm Craig McCarthy, development manager at SwiftCase.
I'm Marcus Bertru, senior developer at SwiftCase.
I'm Phil Whitby, developer at SwiftCase.
I'm Sammy Swift, I'm a senior developer for SwiftCase.
Okay, great. So today we're going to do an episode about APIs. People might not know what they are if they're just, they've got their own business and they've been talking about transforming their business, improving their digital offer and how they're integrating systems into their business processes. And APIs is probably something they may have come across. They've heard the term, they've heard the acronym, but what's it all about and how can it help them with their business is what we're going to sort of go through today, isn't it? Yeah. Give people a quick guide, everything you need to know to make use of APIs. Okay, so I think Alkis, do you want to?
Yeah, so in basic terms, an API is essentially a set of functions whereby a function is just something that you pass some data into and it processes it in one way or another. So you have this set of functions that essentially allow you to talk or manipulate a piece of software. So that's the most basic form of what it is. And the most commonly used APIs are web APIs, which allow you to essentially integrate one piece of software with another piece of software. So allowing for this communication between different software, basically.
Get two software applications to talk to each other,
exactly.
Share information, and hopefully, basically streamline the process, really, isn't it? So
yeah, I mean, it's a way now, isn't it, where if you have 5 different systems, you don't have to enter in the same information into 5 different systems. If they all integrate with each other via APIs, then it means you're able to put them in one place and it'll talk to the others.
Yeah. Well, I think it also, you don't have to then contact Twitter or Facebook or anything and then ask them for data. And then I think that's that kind of getting data in a readable format, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than in like an Excel file that you then have to upload and do anything with, because that's traditionally, because people with closed systems, they were probably initially willing to share.
Import, export things in there, so you'd export your CSV of users, like MailChimp's probably a good example, isn't it? So you've got people people use MailChimp to send out email campaigns to market their business, and obviously they need to give it a list of users and the email addresses that they want to send out to. So what they may have done in the past is maybe they've either they've only got a spreadsheet with a list of everyone's email address on, or they've got a CRM that can export a spreadsheet, a CSV file, which is the same as a spreadsheet, upload it to MailChimp, and then once you've got it in MailChimp, manipulate your list and set up your email and send it. And basically with an API, you could effectively have a button in your CRM that just went, send all these to MailChimp, or even create a campaign and send it to this list without actually ever exporting anything and then re-importing it again. It would all be a seamless process.
Yeah, so it's like an agreement between applications to be civil rather than waste each other's time, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's another key thing, isn't it, I suppose, is the security aspect of it, and I think you've been doing some stuff with like BOAuth, haven't you, recently, and how?
I've worked with a variety of different APIs, and some use newer forms of security compared to others, but the whole idea of the API communication is to enable for a secure exchange of information. So, like Adam said, nowadays you have things like OAuth, which I believe Twitter use OAuth 1, which is, without getting into it, is a bit predated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially, to actually just briefly explain OAuth, it's like if I wanted to communicate with Phil here, I would first ask him, hi, I'm Alkis, do you know me? Am I okay to communicate? He says no, then I leave. Otherwise, then we can exchange information.
Yeah.
So that's the basics of,
Yeah. So I suppose like you've got, because it's secure, if you, especially in the days of GDPR nowadays, people downloading a spreadsheet or leaving that lying around that all you use as data ready to upload to somewhere else, it's a big risk, whereas if it's gone from one secure system to another, can go straight through.
Those one of the big advantages of cloud software is that you can use it anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you've got cloud software that can talk to each other, it means that you're not going to have to be stuck in an office in order to import and export this data. I think in the past, a lot of businesses used to just have this either bespoke or off-the-shelf software that they'd install on their machines. But I think APIs have they've really sold cloud software really, and I think it's the future, because when you've got many pieces of software that do really good things, they might be the best in their fields at each individual thing. So MailChimp, for example, cracking mail software, really. It makes sense to use MailChimp sometimes when, rather than all in one system, I think.
Yeah, because you imagine the development time it would eventually take for everyone to go, I'm going to make the de facto all-in-one system. I mean, it would just get ludicrous out of control.
Well, it's like the way what we did quite early on. More recently actually, is make a decision to make a configurable API in our software, so we could almost connect to anything. Because we recognise the likes of MailChimp to build MailChimp again is insane when they're constantly adding to it, and it's very much best in field really. So it makes sense to just integrate with that.
Yeah,
I think
you're absolutely right. Yeah, because we could, even if we caught up to where the functionality is now, they would have improved anyway.
Exactly.
It's like a pilgrim's progress, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Sam's been working on getting the API, the data in, haven't you? So this configurable API.
So you can take your data from anywhere, any type of API, and get it into your case from the response, and that makes it hugely beneficial to the client, because they don't have to go somewhere else. They don't have to change screens to go and get the data, copy and paste it into another field. It just does it for them.
You build
seamlessly as
something.
well.
You basically map the response from one API into the questions that the client has, the information the client has to store.
Yeah.
And it's just all configurable. You just go, I want to connect to I want to send my fees to Xero or Sage, and I want to get back the timestamp when it got created, or the ID that was created inside Xero, and store it in my question. Just do all that by effectively drag and drop.
Or maybe you want to pull some data about a location somewhere, or maybe you want to get an image from somewhere, so you can plug it into that API and request that particular piece of data and pull it in. And you've then got a report to produce. It's just like as if you typed it in yourself or uploaded the image yourself, and it's there in the report. Yet you've not had to change screens. You have to go and type in postcode or whatever request you need to make to get the data. It's done it for you. So
I think
you saved a lot
the
of
cool
time.
thing to add on to what you just said is you can schedule things to happen. So if you're dealing with other countries with different time zones, you can actually schedule what you just said, upload that image at set time, which is really cool. I think it allows for a lot more integration with a lot more different systems from other countries.
Diversity really.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you can build it up as part of your whole process, can't you? So there might be the API connection, but then you build in that part of that API, then connects to this other API, then connects to something else. So you can imagine an invoice gets created from Xero, that gets pulled in, and it goes out via email through your email API, and then there's some kind of text message system that's hooked up to give people a reminder when it's due or something, and it's all one workflow, but it's used 3-4 different systems.
Yeah.
Another example is maybe in your workflow you need to send some information to a third party. Maybe it's an expert in their field, and with SwiftCase you could just send it to them via an API that the third party has. They can do their work that they need to do, they receive it, they do the work, they send it back into SwiftCase. And you've not had to change screens, you've not had to make a phone call, you've not had to send an email. It's just all there immediately.
So basically, using APIs will help you to reduce errors because you're not putting things into different systems. It streamlines everything, so everything's a bit faster. everything works together easily. It's more secure because systems are talking directly to each other rather than things coming out as an export and then being imported. You can leverage different systems to do different things and connect them together in one workflow, so they're good for automation because you can do stuff across multiple systems without actually having to actually interact with each one. It can be streamlined that way. And also you can do everything from one screen. You can see everything in one place. You can get data dragged in from lots of different sources and put them together and manipulate them. So there's five ways that APIs can help you to make your business more productive. If you've got any other ways that you think that APIs have either helped your business or you'd like to see whether APIs can help your business, pop a comment below and we'll try and answer any questions you've got.
And if you've got an API on your system that integrates with Twitter, then don't forget to send us a tweet at SwiftCase UK. We're also on a number of other social media channels such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So check us out, and also go to swiftcase.co.uk for more information on some of the stuff we do, and maybe some information on how we integrate with some of the APIs.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to get notifications about any more videos we've got.
That's great. So I hope everyone enjoyed our podcast on APIs. My name is Adam Sykes, founder of SwiftCase, professional productivity platform, and we hope to see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks.